Hiking the Norco crosses. Parking is at Pikes Peak Park, which is 2 miles east of Interstate 15 via the 6th Street exit. The hike is a semi-loop with additional side peak visits to consider. The difficulty rating for the hike is easy to moderate. The hike begins. It starts off on a street-side horse trail and continues to the Norco rodeo grounds. Entering Ingalls Equestrian Center. This is also the popular starting point for the Pumpkin Rock hike. Making a left before the equestrian areas. A trailhead marker sits at the start of the trail. Pumpkin Rock is visible on the hill ahead. However, I would veer left to go to the upper trail. This parallels the main trail at first. Although this lower portion shared the Pumpkin Rock Trail, I made another left to leave the well-worn route behind. By comparison, this is more like a small-use trail heading up the slope between two hills. Cresting the ridge after a steady climb. A steep use trail goes up Peak 1456 on the left side. Instead of taking it, I opted for a more gradual route to the east. This trail started to return to the city, so I picked up another side trail to keep me in the hills. This led to some navigational challenges at first, but I maintained a gradual ascent on a route of least resistance. There was some minor bushwhacking, but nothing more. Walking routes get better defined while approaching the top. Locating the summit boulders at the highest point. Then, that final high step to the top. On the summit of Peak 1456. The Summit 360. Here I found the first cross, which was no longer standing tall. Time to head for the next one. The next one takes me off the loop by heading down the ridge to the southeast. Downhill progress was steady, but I would have to come back the same way. At the end of the ridge sits P1261. Approaching Peak 1261. On top, the cross stands proud. On the summit of Peak 1261. The summit 360. From there are great views over Riverside. The summit shot. With a hunger for more peaks and crosses, I began heading back up the trail. Along the way, I came upon a bonus cross below Peak 1456. With a scenic backdrop and classic look to the cross, this was worth the effort. I then continued north along the ridge. There are nice city views along the way. Appearing ahead is the next peak, Peak 1477. Before long, I was on the final push up the slope. The La Sierra Hills high point is on the right, while the slightly lower Peak 1477 keeps going to the left. Reaching an upper saddle and continuing left. Although there was no cross on top, the La Sierra Hills high point would be an obvious visit for peak climbers. Approaching Peak 1477 while racing the sunset. Its summit cross is actually visible from miles away. On the summit of Peak 1477. The fourth and final cross on the La Sierra Hills trek. The summit 360. The summit shot. With a loop in mind, I headed down the northwest slope. A defined pathway leads down to the city. Chasing the sunset down the slope. Arriving at Crestview Drive. Being that Norco is Horse City, USA, many sidewalks are dirt. The street leads back to Pikes Peak Park. Where upon arrival the mission was accomplished. As a hiker, you would be hard-pressed to ignore the La Sierra Hills. The views alone are worth the visit.